Part 3. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 21. Yin Susu has a big head. 100 points, that is, 10,000 ordinary zombies. This queue for her to kill, it will take a long time to kill. What can I do? If only I could have a copy of the real-time dynamics. Yin Susu thought so, but he still quickly made a decision: go to farm zombies, and save enough 100 points. Yin Susu, you are in such a hurry to use points, then I will lend you 100 points here in Kyushu. 100 points, not a problem. Seeing Liang Rong's generous helping hand, Yin Susu didn't think much about it and accepted it happily. But in a blink of an eye, she understood Kyushu's thoughts. It's nothing more than that when there is a real-time dynamic copy of your own world, you can give priority to it and group people together here in Kyushu. That's fine, after all, you're alone. Thank you, Miss Liang Rong. Yin Susu hurriedly bought a non-side effect T-virus drug, immediately turned around and disappeared, and returned to the Wuodane wing. Mowgli. Yin Susu took the medicine in his hand, and all kinds flashed in his heart. It's not a dream. It's true, Mowgli is saved. Yin Susu's pale cheeks, which were originally sad because of Zhangwuji's injury, were a little flushed at this moment. She hurriedly ran out of the door and came to the place where Zhangwuji was. Kyushin, Mowgli is saved. In the wing room, except for Zhangwuji, who was lying on the bed with his eyes closed. There is also Zhang Sanfan, who has a white beard and hair, but a ruddy face, and he is holding Zhangwuji's pulse. Zhang Kyushin stood anxiously aside. Suddenly, the door opened, and Yin Susu's voice was heard. Susu, what's going on? But Yin Susu ignored Zhang Kyushin and walked straight to the window. Took out the tube of virus reagent and poured it into Zhangwuji's mouth. Susu, stop, what the hell are you going to do? Zhang Kyushin was startled, not knowing what Yin Susu was going to do, and hurriedly grabbed her arm. Zhang Sanfan didn't understand. Could it be that the thing in the hands of his daughter-in-law could cure the cold poison of the Xianming divine palm? Hurry up and give Wuji a potion, and you can cure the cold poison. Yin Susu saw that her husband stopped her, and hurriedly explained. Am I still going to be harmful? After a scolding, Zhang Kyushin thought about it right. However, this thing that I don't know where to get it, will it really be useful? Immediately, Yin Susu gave Zhangwuji the T-virus to drink. In just a few moments, the complexion that seemed to be formed by frost had become ruddy. Zhang Sanfan could clearly feel that the cold poison that could only be removed by the internal force of the yang had disappeared without a trace. But he still cautiously took the pulse and probed it with internal force. Master, how is Mowgli? Zhang Kyushin hurriedly asked, but he still saw the change in Zhangwuji's face, and hope ignited in his heart. Mowgli, this kid is fine, and the cold poison has been completely removed. Zhang Sanfan paused when he said this, and touched Zhangwuji's bones with his hand. Because Zhangwuji's body and bones have changed a little just now. Although it is very small, it is still in Zhang Sanfan's eyes. Not only that, but Wuji's bones have also strengthened a lot. If you practice martial arts, your talent is excellent. Yin Susu, who was on the side, heard Zhang Sanfan's words and saw that his child was already fine. In this way, even if the husband and wife come back this time, we'll let those so-called righteous factions persecute and ask about the whereabouts of the righteous brother and the whereabouts of the dragon slayer knife. If something goes wrong, the child will also be taken care of by Wuodane. And at this moment, a Wuodane disciple ran in anxiously. Oh no, in the main hall, under the leadership of the Shaolin, Imei, Kongtong faction and other major factions, all factions unite to force the fifth uncle to. What? Yin Susu and Zhang Kyushin glanced at each other, and immediately knew what the reason was. Humph. But Zhang Sanfan snorted coldly, and secretly said that these people have not made a move for a long time, and their skin is itchy. Immediately walked towards the main hall of Wuodang Mountain Gate. Zhang Qiushan and Yin Susu also hurriedly followed. At the same time, Yin Susu's mind also sounded a copy prompt. Ding. Turn on real-time dynamic copies. Publish real-time dynamic tasks. Mission: defeat the 6 major factions and change the fate of Wuodang Zhang Qiushan and the Heavenly Eagle sect. Yin Susu's original death. Note that this task is a restricted level mission. Death fate. Yin Susu's back was cold, and a picture suddenly appeared in his mind. It was a picture of her husband committing suicide under the persecution of various factions. And himself, holding a cold child, with hateful eyes, staring at those so-called famous and decent people, and then cutting himself off from this. When the picture disappeared, Yin Susu's whole person froze in place, looking at the back of Zhang Sanfan and Zhang Qiushan leaving in front of him. I'm not going to allow this to happen. My destiny has changed, and I have joined the heavenly realm. Even Wuji's cold poison, which should have been incurable, has been removed at will. Yes, that's right. This is a copy. I can team up with Kyushu and Dakin to carry out the mission. The Heavenly Raiders organization is her lifesaver. It's the only way she can think of at the moment. In the original fate, the husband chose to commit suicide in order to maintain the reputation of Wuodang and maintain the relationship with his brother-in-law. Did not let Master's birthday become a place for various factions to fight, so as to avoid rivers of blood. However, if there is a choice, Yin Susu would never choose this path. She is a demon witch, compared to the benevolent and noble Zhang Qiushan. From the roots, she is 2 kinds of people. Smart elves, start teaming up. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author: I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 22. Origin Space. The Time Planning Bureau team has successfully taken control of the President of Time Bank. It's only a matter of 10 million years before it is collected. And was still watching the heavy responsibility of the live broadcast, and suddenly, the light curtain in front of him flickered. Dynamic copy matching invitation. Team up to invite people, Yin Susu. Mission level, 1-star adventure dungeon. Hero has been added to matchmaking. Butterfly Shinobi has been added to the match. Huhai has joined the match. Star Soul has been added to matchmaking. Cloud Dragon has been added to the match. 10 raiders matched. It's so fast, your hands are so fast, I still want to go over and see that Heaven and Dragon Slayer world. What's there to see? Just watch the live broadcast. Alright, don't make noise, watch the live broadcast. The match was completed in an instant, and all 10 of them had already teleported directly. Ladies and gentlemen, today is the 100th birthday of the family teacher, and his old man has instructed me not to be extravagant, so that his old man can live a clean life. All the kindness of the colleagues in the rivers and lakes, Wuodang will thank you one by one in the future. Everyone, please come back. Song Yuanqiao said in a deep voice, looking at some small sects and small factions led by the 5 major factions in front of him, and a trace of anger flashed. The 5th junior brother went through a lot of hardships, 10 years, and even his children were seriously injured before returning to Wuodang. I didn't expect these so-called big factions to be so well informed. In the name of congratulating the master's birthday, they went up the mountain together. Is this to force me Wuodang and hand over the family of the 5th junior brother? What wishful thinking. I have to say that Song Yuanqiao really didn't think wrong. Among the 5 major factions, the head of the Imei faction, the extermination master, walked out with a fierce look with a divine soldier leaning on the heavenly sword. This appearance can even stop children from crying at night. The murderous aura exuded by his body, the cowardly, just a glance, will be frightened crazy. Then I saw him snort lightly, and said with a smile. Zhang Zhenren wants to be pure, and our juniors dare not disturb. Just hand over that Kyushin and Yin Susu, and let them tell the whereabouts of the Golden Lion King Siesun. Fellow martial artists, they will leave immediately. With the words of the extermination master, the disciples of various factions supported one after another, making the square in front of the main hall of the mountain gate noisy. Humph! Song Yuanqiao mobilized the internal force, shook the surroundings, and made the square instantly calm and peaceful. Exterminator, everyone, where are you in Wuodang? If you say that you want to hand over someone, you have to hand over someone. What a great majesty! Song Yuanqiao's voice came out, and those junior disciples, of course, did not dare to refute it. However, the exterminator didn't care about it at all. In order to avenge the victims of the various factions who were innocently persecuted by the Golden Retriever Lion King. Today, led by my 5 major factions, I must find Siesun. Therefore, if you Song Daxia don't hand over Yin Susu and Zhang Kyushin again, then I'm going to be extinct, but I'm going to ask you for a few tricks. After speaking, without waiting for Song Yuanqiao to speak, he just used his light skills to leap up. The heavenly sword in his hand instantly came out of its sheath, emitting a golden glow like the sun. Between the sword chi and the horizontal, among the 7 heroes of Wuodang, 5 people are here, and they can't stop this extermination sword. Phew! The sword is sheathed. Extinction is even more triumphant and ferocious. Zhang Kyushin, if you don't come out again, your 5 senior brothers will die. Stop! The people who came were Zhang Sanfan and Zhang Kyushin. Extermination, don't deceive people too much. Zhang Kyushin looked at the brothers who were injured by the extermination, and his heart became angry. Zhang Kyushin, you are finally willing to come out. Tell me where the Golden Lion King Siesun is. Seeing Zhang Kyushin and Zhang Sanfan coming together, the arrogance was unabated, and the heavenly sword in her hand was her reliance. At first glance, he has never been beaten. Zhang Sanfan squinted his eyes on the side, looked at his several apprentices, and remained silent. It's just his eyes, but he also looks at the extermination master a few more times, and he is thinking something in his mouth. Zhang Kyushin saw that the exterminator was too asked, and immediately replied. I will never betray my brother-in-law and tell me his whereabouts. Self-degraded ones. Extinction took a long time, and opened his mouth to reprimand angrily. Actually, with the Golden Lion King Siesun, such a murderous king is a brother. I'll wake you up. After injuring several of Zhang Sanfan's disciples, Extinction still wanted to teach Zhang Kyushin a lesson in front of Zhang Sanfan. I'm afraid I didn't take the wrong medicine. This is the movie version of Zhang Sanfan. That was the master of Shaolin Kongwen, who said that he would attack it in groups, but he was not timid at all, but Zhang Sanfan, who was eager to try. The arrow was in the sacred mountain, and he could see that the exterminator was too silent. At the same time, just when the exterminator was repeating his old tricks, bullying himself forward, and wanted to deal with Zhang Kyushin. Bang! A sword aura burst out from afar, rushing straight towards the exterminator Tai. Seeing this, Extinction shook his hand and unsheathed his sword from the sky. Count the sword chi that collided with the burst of sword chi and exploded in midair. What thing that doesn't know whether it's alive or dead, dares to sneak up on me? Not to mention that she exterminated this person who couldn't see the situation clearly. On the side, Zhang Sanfan was condensed, looking at the place where there were several powerful breaths. Among them, there are several strong people who are not inferior to themselves. Who could it be? Fifth brother. Susu. It turned out that Yin Susu was the person with the raiders group, and he arrived. 11 Read books every day, charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. To rush immediately, event period, October 1st to October 7th. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 23. Yin Susu, it's really a demon witch. There are still accomplices hiding. With a turn of his right hand, on the body of the heavenly sword, the golden mang shone 3 points again, and a sword slashed out. Good sword! Roared in a deep voice, it was the hero. He held it in the air with one hand, and the majestic internal force instantly pinched the extinction in the air. The long sword in his hand was taken off in an instant, and flew into the hand of the male lord on its own. Give me the scabbard too. Whew! Gang master, you are too fast, and you got this good sword as soon as you came. Star Soul also has a trace of interest in this sword, but since it has been captured by Xianba, it naturally will not fight for it. Ha ha ha, everyone, bear with me, see you in the next moment, and you're one step faster. Wei Zhuang happened to be beside Xianba, looked at the Yishan sword in Xianba's hand, and admired. This sword is made of meteorite iron outside the sky, it is extremely sharp, and the sword body contains a strange force. It is built by a sword casting master, which can enhance the user's internal force. A sword out, the sword chi bursts out, it is really good. Concubine Dong Junyan, swaying her figure, said with a chuckle. Next, if there are any more good things, you can't rob them. Ha ha ha. Everyone chuckled, and Xianba shook his head and clenched his fists, shouting see laugh, see laugh. And at this time, the laughter of those people was so harsh. I can't even block that person's move. If this person wants to kill himself, I'm afraid that he can kill him in an instant. Susu, these people. Of course, Zhang Qiushan knew that his wife didn't have time to hide so many masters. So when did these people come? Judging by their appearance, they must have come to help Susu. Fifth brother, needless to say, after dealing with these people, I will tell you this. Yin Susu said, came to Zhang Sanfan's side again, knelt down on one knee and said. Master, Susu made his own decision and disturbed Master's birthday, and asked Master to punish him. Zhang Sanfan immediately made a false offer, helped Yin Susu up, and shook his head. It's okay. Before Zhang Sanfan's words fell, the 5 major factions and the factions they brought with them shouted loudly. In the Shaolin Temple, Kongwen stepped out in one step, and his face was not happy. Zhang Sanfan, are you sure that you are relying on you to be a generation of grand masters in the rivers and lakes, and your martial arts are world famous, and you are shielding your apprentices, plus these people in the demon sect? Are you the enemy of my 5 major factions? If I wait for a rush up, it's up to you. Do you think you can stop us? Speaking of this, Zhang Sanfan's face was cold. What's more, these people brought by Yin Susu, several people who are not inferior to themselves are here, and this bald monk actually brushes his face in public. I don't want to lose face. Okay, you bald monk, you're still scaring me. Seeing that the scene seemed to be about to fall into a fight, Zhang Qiushan could still stand. Master, one person does things and one person does it, this thing is. Didn't wait for Zhang Qiushan to finish speaking, Yin Susu didn't know what her husband was going to do. When she took on the task, she had already seen the things here clearly. She would never allow that to happen. Heaven allowed himself to join the heaven's origin space in order to change his own fate. Humph, Master, 5th brother, even if you don't use Wudain to make a move, my friend can let them have no return. Seeing Yin Susu doing this, Zhang Qiushan was a little puzzled, why his wife was so strong today. On the contrary, Zhang Sanfan nodded, but shook his head again. What nonsense, do I still let others bully my own disciples? Isn't it just fighting? Your master and I have never been afraid of anyone in the past 100 years. Are they still scaring me? Phew. With Zhang Sanfan's statement, Song Yuanqiao, who was not far behind him, of course knew what to do. Although he was injured by extermination, it was no big problem, and he immediately organized Wudang disciples to prepare for battle. But as soon as Wudang became stronger, the people of the 5 major factions were cowardly. Kong Wen was so angry that he knotted his fingers, and he couldn't speak for a long time, and then he flicked his sleeves and left with Shaolin. Among them, there was also a monk with a mask, with a gloomy face, who seemed to be very unwilling. A farce of persecution by the 5 major factions was solved in an instant. Anticlimactic. People don't know what to say. Yin Susu also knew in his heart that the people who formed a team to help could really say that they could kill these people. But today is Zhang Sanfan's birthday after all, just avoid killing. Lest he make his own decisions and put Zhang Qiushan in guilt. The extinction also looked at the male bully with hatred, but the oppression that was stronger than Zhang Sanfan still made her unwilling to leave. And Xianba, if it weren't for the fact that this is a copy, it would be difficult to kill. Otherwise, with his temperament, this group of people can leave one alive, because he is too merciful. And at this moment, the light curtain also jumped out in front of everyone, showing that the task had been completed. It's too easy. Ding. Real-time dynamic copy completed. Reward 1000 points, 5-year standard unit internal force, and a random transcendent second-order exercise. Note that the energy reward of the standard unit is subject to the cultivation of the extraordinary genius moment. After the real-time dynamic copy is completed, you can stay or leave at will, but you must have the consent of the replica initiator. Xianba and the others received the news, and did not stay long, and after greeting Yin Susu, they left directly. Even the Yunlong, who was ready to take a look at the other world, the end of the Yuan dynasty in this parallel world, hurried away. Within 5 years, one step to the sky, cool and crooked. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 24. Immortals. Yokai. The raiders who disappeared out of thin air in public made Wudang and the others startled. What kind of person is this fifth uncle's wife? Doesn't she say that she is a member of the demon sect? How to? Susu, your group of friends is really amazing. They are much younger than me, but their skills are so profound that they even make me feel pressure. Yin Susu saw that this matter had passed, and the task was completed. The heavy pressure of seeing his own original fate of death in his heart was instantly relieved. Of course, the mood is very good. And Zhang Sanfan's tough statement to the 5 major factions just now also made Yin Susu more cordial to this world-famous Grandmaster. Master, the disciple will come to you one by one later, and after I finish speaking, if you are interested in this, I can let you see a wider world. Seeing Yin Susu say this, it seemed mysterious and secretive, and Zhang Sanfan couldn't help but be curious. This mission is too simple, and it went through the motions in the past, which directly rewarded me with 5 years of internal strength. I'll take a look. There's also a book of transcendent second-order exercises, Lingbo Weibu. It's a light work. This is to make me more agile and elegant when I fire. Seeing that Yunlong came back, his mouth was chattering endlessly. Liangrong habitually kicked out. But he didn't think that kick on Yunlong's calf. He didn't react at all, but he was directly shocked and took a few steps back. It's all said that I have internal strength. I'm also a transcendent first-order person now. Unlike before, there is no rank. Yunlong deliberately glanced at Liangrong with contempt, so angry that her teeth itched. For Yunlong, perhaps the acquisition of internal strength made him feel less profound. But for the people of Great Qin, as well as the heroes and butterfly ninjas, this feeling is different. The 5-year standard internal strength is comparable to what I have gained from 10 years of diligent practice. The Star Soul sighed, and Wei Zhuang on the side also spoke. That's right, not only that, this internal force is very pure, without any impurities, and it appears in the body out of thin air without any sense of disobedience, as if it is obtained by one's own cultivation. And Xianba can also feel that his own cultivation of 3 points of return to the vitality has increased out of thin air, and he can't help but sigh. This origin space is really amazing, and the quest is really magical. And what Butterfly Shinobi originally practiced was the breathing method of insects. Practicing the breathing method, unlike internal forces, will produce extraordinary energy in the body. And her insect breathing method is not good at strength, and her physical strength is weak. And now that she has 5 years of strength in her body, she can clearly feel that her shortcomings have made up for a lot in an instant. The internal force is able to circulate itself, and it seems to be very much in line with one's own breathing. Under every breath of his own, the internal force can be improved at all. What a fascinating power! Taiun vertical, the light power of the transcendent second order. Moreover, not long after everyone opened the random exercises, the copy of the Time Planning Bureau, which everyone cared about so much, was finally completed. Completed the dungeon without injury, and didn't even fight. Directly control the rich people all the way, and then ransack the time bank. Because this dungeon's secret realm is not a whole planet, just a big city. So they got a total of 200 million times. It's mainly Lengfeng. I thought it was a game, and if you get the mission goal beyond the standard, you can get extra rewards or something. Was instigated by Lengfeng, and everyone really increased the reward with the attitude of trying. Instead, they succeeded in figuring out something related to the quest for a dungeon. Look, the Time Planning Bureau's quest shop is open. It's so cheap, it's only 10,000 points in a year. A year's lifespan, only 10,000 points, this is really cheap. Everyone talked about it, and if this is the case, then the longevity is really not a big problem. 10,000 points is just killing 1 million ordinary zombies. Besides, there will definitely be more dungeons in the future, and there will definitely be dungeons that can farm points. Your Majesty, hurry up and take advantage of the small number of people now. We are a power-based raider organization, we must increase our strength to brush that zombie copy. Yang Zhen nodded, this is a good point. Therefore, to increase the troops, to clean up the zombie world, you must increase the troops. Xianbo looked at the light curtain, and looked at the time transaction with hot eyes. It's a pity that he is a scattered raider, and the efficiency of a person must be very low. But no matter what, killing day and night, you can't let all the zombies be eaten by Kyushu and Dakin. Susu, this is the origin space. It was not Zhang Qiushan who spoke, but Zhang Sanfan. As for why it was Zhang Sanfan, I'll talk about this later. Master, look at your light curtain. I bought the T-virus elixir from this Hive Secret Realm Mall, and it cured Wuji. And then there's this, the latest time transaction copy opened, 10,000 points, you can buy a year's time life in the mall. Seeing this, Rao is Zhang Sanfan's Dao heart, and he is also beating fiercely at this time. However, since entering here, Zhang Sanfan's most important feeling is that he seems to be free from an inexplicable shackle and restriction. The internal force in the body, rapidly boiling and expanding, seems to be developing rapidly in the direction of a qualitative change. It's just that this time is just a while, and its own internal force, whether it is qualitative or quantitative, has been greatly improved. What's going on? Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 25. Mount Kinabalu. Ino lay leisurely on his back on the white clouds. The nine tails shrunk in size, chasing some white clouds in various forms in the sky. It's a double happiness. Gun smiled and looked at the light curtain. Ding. Congratulations on clearing the 1-star difficulty level Dungeon Time Planning Bureau. Congratulations on completing all the tasks. Reward 1, Time Lifespan * 1000 years. Reward 2, Water drop detector *3, from the 3-body world. Additional rewards, open the Time Planning Bureau Mall, reward points 10,000. Ding. Congratulations on clearing the real-time dynamic dungeon. This quest contains a change of fate and a reward increase. Reward 1, acquired water spirit, acquired fire spirit. Reward 2, 20 years of standard unit internal force. Additional rewards, a fairy level first order water and fire road robe, a pair of immortal level first order water and fire road boots, points *10,000. The acquired water and fire immortal body is a special physique that is okay. After merging into itself, on the water and fire, whether it is martial arts, or magic, or abilities or something. The speed of cultivation is extremely fast. And there's a powerful amplification. Not only that, Gun spread out his hands, pinched a water balloon in his left hand, and burst into a stream of fire in his right hand. This was not created by the epic using the ability of the origin space. This is a little bit of power that is displayed in obtaining the acquired water and fire spirit body. Some of them are like superpowers, and they awaken on their own, but they don't come from cultivation. It's kind of a good ability. But it also requires the era to practice and master through his own efforts. The remaining 1,000 years of life and 20 years of internal strength are nothing. On the contrary, it is the water droplet, which is still quite interesting. It is said to be a water drop, but it is actually a technological creation. But specifically, with the shallow knowledge of the era, it is difficult to combine the words that you know one by one, and completely turn them into sentences that you don't know at all, and speak them smoothly. Anyway, it looks like a bull. And the last robes and shoes, needless to say. That's what you wear out and pretend to be. I don't have the ability to fart, I can't defend myself, I can't open a shield, etc. The only power is to keep the body from being polluted by dust, dirt, and so on. And it comes with its own cleaning. Era. Level, Transcendent 5th Order. Practice, Juyang Divine Skill, Roulette Divine Palm, 4 Seasons Sword Technique. Points, 9.56 million. Cleared Dungeon, Hive Secret Realm, Xiaoao Jianghu Martial Arts Secret Realm, Time Planning Bureau, Dynamic Dungeon *1. Open Dungeon, copy Resident Evil Hidden Secret Realm, under Strategy, copy of One Man's Legendary Secret Realm, copy of Dragon Baba Movie Version Secret Realm. Dynamic Dungeons opened, Lingyuan Cave Dynamic Dungeon, Nada Spider Mountain Dynamic Dungeon. So many points, tisk. It seems that Kyushu and Dakin are really sparing no effort to brush, and they have never rested. Especially in Kyushu, all kinds of weapons have been taken out for actual combat and testing. The points of the epic, of course, come from the zombie secret realm. It is divided in half. Look at the acquisition of points. The epic probably knows how many zombies they have spawned. It should be almost 2 billion zombies. That is, nearly 20 million points have been swiped. Half of the points, that is, the era of nearly 10 million people. Kyushu and Dakin, each with nearly 5 million. Then there are 2 dynamic copies, Lingyuan Cave belongs to the Xianba, and the time limit is to open within half a year. And Nada Spider Mountain, which belongs to the Butterfly Ninja, is limited to 5 days to open. To be honest, when Gun saw this Spider Mountain, he really wanted Kyushu to move a few suns over. And for regular dungeons, except for the zombie world that continues to be brushed. That person's legend is also a zombie-like monster apocalyptic world. In the original version, the protagonist developed a serum that could make the monster who was afraid of sunlight turn back into a normal human. Now that it's a copy, the epic still took a good look at the information. Good fellow, humanity has once again succeeded in killing itself. It's already a group annihilation. And the other one is a copy of the Heavenly Dragon Baba Secret Realm, the movie version. Gun still remembers the Tian Tong and Li Qiushui, and the two of them flashed in a hurry. And the old monster Ding Chunkai, who summoned the heavenly thunder directly and turned it into a divine sword, which is just cool. There is also BT's Northern Pluto divine skill, which can be reborn after death, and return to youth. Let's just wait a little longer, and wait until those two dynamic secret realms are finished. Gun sorted out the harvest of this period and watched Yin Susu take Zhang Sanfen to the base city. Then with the nine tails in his hand, his figure flashed, and he came to the front of everyone in the base city. See the arrival of the era. Just now, they were still chatting about martial arts, or time trading, and the people who planned with the Tower of Origin hurriedly saluted. Meet the Patriarch. Epic waved his hand and asked everyone to sit down at will. The nine tails in his hand were thrown away by him, turned into a huge beast, and ran in the sky and the earth in the astonished eyes of everyone. Such a divine beast, such a powerful pressure. Nine tails, could it be the legendary nine-tailed demon fox? Gun didn't pay attention to it, but just coughed lightly, and let everyone listen carefully. Then he spoke. First of all, let's talk about the problem of scattered raiders. 11 Read books every day, charge 100 and get 500 VIP coupons. To rush immediately, event period, October 1st to October 7th. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 26. First of all, let's talk about the problem of scattered raiders. Arrow waved his hand, and a curtain of light appeared out of thin air. In the light curtain, it is a picture related to Yin Susu. This is the original direction of its destiny. The cold poison on Zhang Wuji's body was not cured. The 5 major factions led the crowd to persecute Zhang Qiushan, causing Zhang Qiushan to die of self-defeat. Blood stained the people of the 5 major factions. Yin Susu didn't want her husband to go on the road alone, so she followed. The picture was interrupted, making everyone a little puzzled. In this picture, it is the original fate of Yin Susu who did not join the origin of the heavens. As soon as the voice of the epic fell, it can be said that one stone stirred up 1,000 waves. The original fate. Wu Changguo muttered. That is, what is about to happen in the future. If Miss Yin Susu doesn't add me to us, I'm afraid she will do it. Zhao Gao whispered on the side. Zhang Sanfen blew his beard and stared, full of anger, seeing this picture. He realized that as a master, he didn't have a better understanding of his apprentice's temperament. Okay, you are one of the 5 major factions, and you actually forced my apprentice and apprentice daughter-in-law to death in public. This time I go back, I am not finished with you. Yin Susu has seen this picture once, and the matter has passed, and fate has changed. Master, the fate of the 5th brother and I has changed, and even the cold poison of the child Wuji has been removed. Everyone nodded when they heard Yin Susu's words. Ying Zheng also thinks this is a good point. Miss Susu is right, such as your world, and the world of your excellency Wu Changguo, my great Qin is the second to die. But since we joined the origin space, our fate has long since changed. Hearing Ying Zheng's words, Zhang Sanfen was stunned for a moment. This person is what Yin Susu said, the first emperor who swept away the 6 countries and unified the world. The epic also let everyone talk for a while, and then motioned for everyone to be quiet. I say this to let you know that as long as you join the origin space, then the fate of all of you has actually changed, and fate can no longer write your life, and everything will be controlled by yourself. Thank you, Your Excellency. The great virtue of the UN Lord. The UN Lord is mighty. Ha ha ha. Gun smiled slightly, shook his head, and then continued. The second thing is related to the scattered raiders. When Xianba, Butterfly Wren, and Yin Susu heard this, they hurriedly concentrated and listened carefully. Scattered people and power types are two different raters. It seems that Great Qin, and Kyushu, there is no such thing as a dynamic copy. The people of Kyushu and Great Qin nodded, they really didn't have this kind of copy content. But the casual raters may think that they are in a weak position. After all, everyone else is the force of the whole world, and the scattered people are the only ones who are themselves. But don't be in a hurry. It's like Yin Susu, after making a dynamic copy, you can get an invitation opportunity to let the people of her world enter the origin space. In addition, you can also get an invitation letter as a reward in the future to make an invitation. Moreover, the scattered raters will become the children of heaven and earth in their respective worlds, and become the protagonist of a world, which can be regarded as compensation for the scattered people. The crowd gasped, they knew that this compensation was too good. The protagonist is the kind of person who is favored by heaven and earth and combines the luck of heaven and earth. Wu Changguo squinted and said, I'm afraid that in the future, as long as Miss Yin Susu goes out, she will pick up the cheats, and there will be a master's cave mansion when she jumps off the cliff, haha. Lang Feng also said enviously on the side. That's right, the scattered people may have some disadvantages in the origin space, but they can know their original fate, and they can also become the children of destiny, the children of heaven and earth, which can be regarded as the compensation of the primordial Lord for them. Yang Zheng also instantly tasted the advantages of scattered people, and nodded and said. Moreover, the scattered forces, the points consumption in the origin space, will have discounts, whether it is the Secret Realm Mall, or the Origin Tower. Ino continued. One is to let the scattered people know about this, and the other is to let the big power organizations pay more attention. After saying this, the epoch changed the light curtain information for everyone to see. It shows all existing replica information in detail. There are 2 more dungeons. Everyone was surprised, and in addition, among the scattered people who came today, the other 2 also have real-time dynamic copies related to them. Male Gang Master, in your world, there is an auspicious holy beast like a unicorn, which is really enviable. Xianba heard Li Si's words, but shook his head. Mr. Li Si, this fire unicorn is not auspicious, but very demonic, and many masters in the rivers and lakes have no bones here. Haha, male gang leader, this fire unicorn in Lingyun Cave, regardless of its blood and scale armor, is a treasure. There is also the blood Bodhi artifact that can increase power. Dragon Vein, Suanwu Zhengong. Male gang leader, when the time comes, you have to call me when the time comes to open a dungeon and form a team. The male dominate is also in a state of confusion. He really didn't know that there were so many good things in this Lingyun cave. Fire unicorn, blood Bodhi, Suanwu Zhengong, dragon vein. Damn, what a cruel thing. Everyone was carefully looking at the information in Lingyun cave, and suddenly they heard Lang Feng scolding. Lang Feng, when the time comes, apply for nuclear weapons from above, and go bask in the sun for those ghosts. Yunlong also said hatefully on the side. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 27. Nuclear weapons. Dachin had already seen this weapon in the video. It can be said that such a weapon, even if it is an immortal, it cannot be resisted. Then let alone these warriors, ordinary people. In front of this nuclear weapon. That's the real equality of all beings. I didn't expect the captain of Kyushu to be so out of shape and resentful. It should be the purple-haired and purple-eyed butterfly ninja girl, in her dynamic copy. The information written in detail caused Kyushu to feel angry. What the hell is it? The people of Great Qin, Xianba, Yin Susu, Zhang Sanfan, and others all looked at the copy information of the nation Spider Mountain. From it, I also learned about the world of Butterfly Shinobi, which is a world where a person has evil spirits. This ghost thing is not a ghost like Kyushu's alien novels, but a physical existence. It is similar to a zombie monster, but it has strong immortality and resilience. Only by cutting off the head of the demon with the knife that is designed to deal with the demon can the demon be killed. Moreover, these demons are still created. But these ghosts also have weaknesses. Especially afraid of the sun. It's a very special species that can be pulled into the laboratory. Liang Rong's words immediately made the people of Dakan, along with Wu Changguo, look at her in unison. What a terrible woman! The hearts of the people were secretly slandered. I can't help but let Dakan's side, the people who have gone to see Kyushu dissect the eyes and study zombies, only feel hairy in their hearts. Those researchers, when looking at the warriors, the burning eyes couldn't help but make them feel as if they had become zombies, dissected and studied. Ahem. Gun was also stunned for a moment. This Liang Rong is really a fierce woman, and the ghosts have to be arrested for research and research. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, the current arrangement of the dungeon will be in chronological order. The next copy is the Spider Mountain, which will last for 5 days. At that time, Butterfly Shinobi will receive a dungeon prompt and form a team. This copy is not difficult, and Butterfly Shinobu can perform a single brush by himself. But it's better to involve other people so that you can learn more about the evil spirits and help you later. After Gun finished speaking, he didn't wait for everyone to say more, and immediately turned around and left. The butterfly swallowed slightly, and what she wanted to say was not spoken. But I don't know why, and I'm more sure about whether the ghost will be destroyed. In 5 days, Li Si, in the Time Planning Bureau, I have discussed it with Kyushu. Except for those scientific research talents, all the others are pulled into my Dakan to engage in construction. Yang Zheng commanded. Li Si approached Kyushu and went to the Time Planning Bureau, which had just been incorporated into the original space, to take it over. And Zhang Sanfen was very interested, and entered the zombie world with Yin Susu. Xianba is kind-faced, and first told Butterfly Shinobi that he would help him hunt ghosts later. Then I went to the zombie world. Of course, they are all about earning points. I didn't expect Sister Butterfly Shinobi to be 18 years old. I'm already at the forefront of the battle against ghosts. Liang Rong sighed, and couldn't help but think that when she was 18 years old, she was still a girl in the flower season, preparing for the college entrance examination. And the girl in front of her has become a weapon and fighting with evil spirits. Kyushu also experienced this kind of thing during the war, and countless young people, carrying weapons, fought to protect their homeland. Butterfly Shinobu smiled, maybe she was used to it. But the hatred of ghosts Butterfly Shinobi is very deep after all. Her sister was killed by the powerful second child of the upper string. Sister Butterfly Shinobi, if you need help, just say it. Looking at Liang Rong's concerned eyes, Butterfly Ren smiled and nodded, not refusing her kindness. After a few moments, the crowd continued to get busy. Butterfly Shinobu looked at the secret realm of the mall, and directly bought 10 T-virus potions in one go, spending his 1,000 points. Then turn around and return to the Demon Slayer world. She has already made her decision. Convene a council of the pillars. Zombie world. Zhang Sanfen was like a child, fiddling with the mobile phone in Kyushu in his hand. Then I looked at a world of ruins. Master, according to the map, this is a country outside the Yuan dynasty. Zhang Sanfen sighed and put down his phone. Thinking about the materials issued by Kyushu. This is Kyushu, specially prepared for the Chinese civilization in the parallel world. It allows them to understand more quickly what is going to happen. It hasn't been long since the dynastic change of our world. Hearing Yin Susu's words, Zhang Sanfen nodded, and then remembered one thing. With a finger, the internal force burst out, penetrating the heads of several zombies. Then I remembered the message from Kyushu. In the desert of the zombie world, you will perform a nuclear weapon blast. Everyone is being invited to see it. After all, there are too many nuclear weapons now. The remnants of the zombie world alone are a lot. It just so happens that the people of Dakin have just watched the video. This time, everyone can come and feel the power of nuclear weapons. Feel the feeling of equality for all beings. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm Chasing Water in the Sky. Chapter 28. The Demon Slayer Headquarters. Butterfly Ren looked at the invitation sent by Liangrong in front of him and readily agreed. In the past few days, I have been gaining points in the zombie world, and I have a lot of contact with Kyushu and Dakin. Butterfly Shinobi, you're from another world in the origin space, what's the matter? The leader of the Ghost Slayer team obviously looked much better, because he, along with the 9 pillars, had all taken T-virus drugs. But the curse is not so easy to suppress. Even so, it also greatly increased the strength of the 9 pillars of the Ghost Slayer team. Pranayama focuses on the use of bodily functions. With the enhancement of the T-virus without side effects, everyone in Jizu has a physique far beyond ordinary people. And, these days, high-intensity hunting zombies to obtain points. It also made Butterfly Shinobi by the internal strength cultivation method, and it has been distributed to the 9 pillars. And even ghosts killing lords can practice. And they also learned that in another world. To those people, evil spirits are but rats in the night. It can be killed at will, and even used as an experiment. Hearing the Lord's question, Butterfly Ren smiled and nodded. The Kyushu forces have invited me to visit the nuclear weapons that can unleash a weapon comparable to that of the sun. When the time comes, I will turn on the live broadcast and connect this monitor, so that the Lord can see the power of this weapon here. The other 8 pillars present were excited. They believe that Butterfly Shinobu is not exaggerating, not lying. The body of the T-virus agent is modified to improve their physical strength. Internal strength and various martial arts techniques made them even more sideways. For example, the rock pillar, learning a body of 13 Taibao horizontal kung fu, only a few days have been introduced. With his breathing method, his martial arts have grown rapidly. The skin of the body seems to be as hard as rock, invulnerable. That's just the beginning. The 9 pillars each chose a martial art that was in line with their own breathing methods. Of course, just relying on butterflies to kill zombies can't be exchanged. Rather, it was discussed by the Demon Slayer pillar meeting. In exchange for breathing, and the evil ghost. They captured the living demons and were brought into the origin space by the butterfly ninja. The researchers in Kyushu and the doctors in Dakin were very interested. But they are most interested. It's a powerful ghost thing that destroys the world, and the anime Tsuji no miserable that can make ghosts with your own blood. Kyushu said that it hoped that it could be caught alive and given to them, and points were not a problem. This made the ghosts kill the 9 pillars and the Lord, and they all felt incredible. The lingering nightmare ghost that weighed down on everyone's heads. In the eyes of people from other worlds, they are just creatures that can be used for research. They can even make the sun. Time and life are commodities that can be bought and sold. Behind all this, there is a mysterious existence, the primordial master, who is in charge of everything. Zombie world. Male gang master. Zhang Jinren, Mission Susu. With a palm, he smashed dozens of zombies in the air, and came to Zhang Sanfan's side. Get in the car and say. Zhang Sanfan said that Xianba also thought it was very interesting and sat in the back seat. Xianba went directly to the side of the desert while killing. And Zhang Sanfan learned to drive. It's really impressive. Butterfly girl. In the back seat, there is also a butterfly ninja. They are the same group of scattered raiders who have entered the origin space. I can't help but feel close to each other. It's like a bully in the world, rampant and domineering. But here, every day is like the uncle next door. For example, when I see a butterfly ninja every day, I will bring some elixir to her. Maybe it's because he has a daughter himself. So this is psychologically mature, but in fact, the 18-year-old butterfly ninja is also very kind. In front of Zhang Sanfan's car, there were Kyushu soldiers driving to lead the way to the nuclear explosion site. Zhang Zhenren really has yaxing, and he even learned a tool called a car in Kyushu. Xianba opened the window and looked out. Occasionally, fragments of zombies appeared, but the next moment they were pierced through the head by bullets from nowhere. Terrible weapon. I secretly sighed at Kyushu's technological weapon, and touched the handgun sent by Kyushu that was kicked on my waist. The other firearms were placed in the World Club and were not brought out. Zhang Sanfan, who played the steering wheel with one hand and put one hand in gear, heard the ridicule of the hero. He laughed, and then said, "For the past 100 years, I have spent almost all of my time in martial arts cultivation. Since coming to the origin space, Lao Dao has felt the disappearance of the shackles. The growth rate of cultivation has become too fast. I don't dare to cultivate, and I have to suppress it from time to time, so as not to have an unstable foundation. Therefore, I have been here in Kyushu for the past few days, learning all kinds of scientific and technological knowledge and culture, and I have to say that it is really broad and profound. Shackles, i.e., the limits of the transcendent in the original world. This is information that everyone knows, and it is told by the intelligent elves. Like Zhang Sanfan, who is already on top of the world and can no longer move forward. After getting out of the world restrictions, the backlog of his martial arts practice over the years instantly turned into food for his cultivation. If it weren't for Zhang Sanfan's strong heart, he would have suppressed the momentum of growth. I'm afraid that his cultivation path will leave behind the problem of unstable foundation. Xianba thought of this, and really admired Zhang Sanfan's heart. After a short drive, I finally arrived at the base in Kyushu. At this time, cars drove over one after another, and it was Dakin's Yingzheng who brought people there. There are also high-level executives from Kyushu who also came here. You are listening to Novels at Bless Up channel. Wish you happiness and luck. How do you feel about this novel? Please like and leave a comment. Strategy for the All Heavens Dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 29. Dong Huang Tai, I heard that you have been soaking in the Tower of Origin for the past few days. How is the harvest? Farmer, how is your farmer's disciple mastering the progress of crop planting, fisheries, livestock breeding, etc., taught in Kyushu? The establishment of the Dakin Academy of Sciences is too troublesome. From the bottom to the top, it needs to be established, and the cause of education has a long way to go, but fortunately we have enough time. Magia. Don't look at it for just a few days, but Dakin is changing with each passing day, and the 100 schools and the imperial court are very busy. No, at the invitation of Kyushu, everyone gathered together. I usually don't have time to communicate with each other, and I can't be busy with my own things. Now, with the help of Kyushu, the Great Qin Imperial Court can be said to be from the bottom to the top, busy non-stop. Whether it is martial arts, people's livelihood, national construction, and so on. But no one dares to put down, because as soon as you stop, you don't know how many people will be behind you, and they will overtake you. It's a wonderful time like no other. The heavens gather, and it is not far away. And the same is true in Kyushu. The Zombie World and the Time Planning Bureau, in these two places, have access to a lot of sophisticated technology. Not only materials, but also more, cutting-edge equipment. But even if there are these, it's not just a matter of using them. It must be eaten thoroughly and then become your own. Adhere to all-round development, do not walk on one leg. In Kyushu, high-precision technology is being produced every day, which can be described as refreshing to explode. It's a pity that you still need to secretly accumulate strength. To be honest, Kyushu can't wait to take out all of this and open everyone's eyes. Let the people of Kyushu know that all our technologies are the first in the world, and even surpass all the countries in the world. But if you think so, you can't do it directly. Moreover, don't look at Kyushu's covert behavior for a while. But the production and manufacture of various items for Dakin, as well as the mobilization of warriors. It still made foreign intelligence agencies aware of it. After all, so many things have been produced, where do you get your raw materials, and where do you sell your things? There are so many numbers and types, and other countries are really blind. The main thing is, Kyushu is a bit abnormal these days. It's rare to play hooliganism. It seems that Blue Star is no longer fun, and Kyushu Rabbit Sauce has a new toy. This makes a lot of people a little uncomfortable. Especially the hooligan Eagle Sauce. Why didn't Kyushu Rabbit Sauce play hooligan with him? After thinking about it, Eagle Sauce, who didn't want to eat, went to ask Mao Seong Sauce next door. Mao Seong-chan, what's wrong with the rabbit sauce next door? Why are you decadent these days? You said that you would play hooligan together. Why did he rabbit sauce go ashore first? But Seong-jong didn't know what to ask. He was really a fool and lacked Seong-chan. In addition, Kyushu should also vigorously develop martial arts. Morality, intelligence, physique, beauty, labor. It is necessary to develop in an all-round way and make progress in an all-round way. But the development of martial arts is slow now, and the most important thing is that there is no reaction in the slightest reaction when he cultivates internal strength in Blue Star. Even the breathing method of Butterfly Ninja is not very effective. If you want to ask the master, just think about it. No one dares to bother, even if the owner doesn't care, but he has to be sensible. So ask the smart elves. When I asked, I realized that Kyushu belonged to the world of demonic matter. There is no otherworldly existence allowed. And if Kyushu wants to vigorously develop martial arts, there is a way, but Kyushu cannot afford to pay the price. For example, transform the environment of Kyushu, let the aura of Kyushu recover, and have the opportunity to cultivate. Wu Changguo and the others thought about it with the high level and gave up now. In addition to being too expensive to pay, there is also the fear that it will undermine the existing stability. When Kyushu has the strength to suppress everything, then slowly change it step by step. Everything has to be stable. It's a word of thumb. But the warriors of Kyushu must practice. Especially those fighters who join the Raiders group. Cultivation is a must. Martial arts plus high technology, the effect exerted, absolutely beyond 1+1. So we can only use the other method that the intelligent elf said. Power station. The so-called power station is to apply for a power station in the origin space. The power station is not in the base, but in another latitude space in the origin space. After application, it costs points. To get an independent space station, belong exclusively to the applicant or individual. It has a hierarchy. The level is the same as the individual level, transcendental, fairyland. The higher the level, the more expensive it is. The larger the space, the more expensive it is. The intelligent elves have finally approved the station. Liang Rong breathed a sigh of relief. Miss Liang Rong, how big of a place have you applied for in Kyushu? My Dakin is in this place, saving a lot of points consumption. Li Si laughed and said happily. Dakin wants to develop, and the 100 schools of thought must become stronger. Yang Zheng is not stingy with the use of points. But you can't stand it, you have to use it in every way. For this reason, the civil and military officials of the imperial court quarrel non-stop every day, and the hall has to break the blood every day to strive for more points support. Beijia will fight more fiercely, as long as you don't kill it. Of course Liang Rong knew this. After all, some of them were specially in the Great Qin imperial court, helping to make suggestions and so on. Mr. Lee Si is right, Dakin is blessed, and the intelligent elves have said that Dakin can accommodate the transcendent power of the first order of the fairyland. And our residency application, the place is not big, and it can accommodate 200,000 people to cultivate at the same time. It's a transcendent fifth order power station. Liang Rong said, while beckoning everyone to the observation fortress, leaving only an opening for observation for everyone to see outside. In addition, each person will be given a special pair of goggles. There are also binoculars next to it. Everything is available. I just waited for the nuclear weapon to explode. Strategy for the All Heavens dungeon, starting from the Biohive. Author, I'm chasing water in the sky. Chapter 30. Everyone, please bring your goggles. Liang Rong's words were not ignored, but no one stirred up trouble at this time. I didn't see Ying Zheng pick up the goggles and put them on. Next, I'm going to let you see the weapon that can make all beings equal and world peace, mushroom bombs. Mushroom bomb. Ying Zheng smiled, looked outside, and said with a smile. Great Elder, can this nuclear weapon still be called a mushroom bomb? Next to Ying Zheng was the Great Elder of Kyushu. Seeing Ying Zheng ask, the Great Elder also smiled and nodded. Yes, this is a kind of name for my Kyushu nationals, so firing this weapon is also nicknamed growing mushrooms. Grow mushrooms. Everyone looked at each other and thought it was very interesting. This thing, which was called a big killer in Kyushu, was jokingly called like this, which couldn't help but increase everyone's interest again. Great Elder, are you starting to launch the Kyushu Express? Commander Wu saw that everyone was quite interested on the side, and immediately asked. Seeing the Great Elder nodding, he immediately passed on the information. Everyone immediately cheered up and prepared to appreciate how Kyushu grows mushrooms. I saw a flickering flame in the sky, dragging a long tail flame in the sky. Then it exploded into the desert, and in the middle of the desert, it exploded. What's that? Great Qin Yingzheng, Gai Nai, Dong Huang Tai, and others, Xianba, Zhang Sanfan, Butterfly. Everyone squinted at the blinding light. It seemed that in mid-air, a sun appeared in an instant. No, it shines brighter and brighter than the sun's rays. Then, a loud bang spread out, as if a thunderbolt exploded, releasing the roar of heaven and earth, and the whole world seemed to be shaken. What kind of power is this? Destroy the world in just a moment. It seems that whether it is a human, a god, a Buddha, a demon, a monster, or a monster, they will be torn to powder by the terrifying power in an instant. Then, the flames rose and turned into huge fireballs, which rose into the sky. The force of the raging terror made a deafening explosion. The terrifying impact swept the world. A dark gray cloud of smoke rolled up, and a white pillar of smoke rose in the center of the cloud of smoke, forming a huge mushroom-like cloud at the top. This is the mushroom. This is the mushroom. Everyone who was immersed in this horror remembered the words of the Great Elder just now, who was lightly planting mushrooms. What can this be called mushroom growing? It's a kind of sun, okay. Everyone was horrified. Amazed that this is a weapon that mortals can make? Shocked by the explosion, the warriors instinctively creepy, and they were weak and sweaty. Even if it's a long distance, even if it's in this observation fortress. The feeling of destroying the world has always lingered in my heart and lingered. Liang Rong on the side had a bad taste and patted Butterfly Ninja. Butterfly, you said that ghost is very afraid of the sun, why don't you go over at night and plant a few for you? This mushroom is more dazzling than the sun, and the temperature is higher than the sun. And it didn't shine down from the starry sky, but it lit up directly on the demon's head. Butterfly Shinobu was thrilled to hear this, and he wanted to agree immediately, but this had to be discussed with the demon slayers. She turned around and looked at Liang Rong with resolute eyes. Thank you. Liang Rong smiled and sighed in her heart, What a mature child. When the people around heard Liang Rong's words, they all rolled their eyes. You take this thing just to give the devil a sunbath, it's like an anti-aircraft gun to fight mosquitoes. Kill chickens with a knife? Dinner in Kyoto, Kyushu. It's not the first time that Yang Zheng and the others have been here. But every time I go in and out of this place, I will sigh at the life of the people here. And Xianba and others came for the first time. When you are in the world of zombies, you can feel the tall buildings made of steel. Now it is looking at the bustling flow of people and vehicles. I was full of emotion. Your Majesty Emperor Qin, where you have a planet, an entire world, is yours. It's not advisable to be overcrowded like we are. Nowadays, environmental protection and other related matters are the focus of my Kyushu. The great elder said to Yang Zheng. Yang Zheng nodded, and began a friendly exchange with the great elder on governing the country and other aspects. In Kyoto, martial law is under force today, and everyone doesn't know why. It's been several times this month. In the past, the leader of Eagle Sauce came, and it wouldn't be like this. But they won't know now that inside that convoy, there is the first emperor of the parallel world. There was a group of people from another world sitting. The next thing is nothing more than eating and drinking well, and the high-level elders here in Kyushu will work together throughout the whole process to build a good relationship. Until the end of the feast. All this is extremely tight, and the outside world does not get any information. Butterfly Shinobu also returned to the Demon Slayer headquarters. All the pillars and lords were waiting for her. Everyone's eyes burned. They watched the whole process of growing mushrooms. Even through the screen, they can feel the brilliance as bright as the sun. The flames of violence and madness. It was like the roar of an ancient mythical troll. Not to mention that those winding and ghost dances are not miserable now. If you multiply it 100-fold, you will be burned to slag by that mushroom. And a day later, Butterfly Shinobu heard a voice next to her ear. Ding. Turn on real-time dynamic copies. Location, Nada Spider Mountain. Publish real-time dynamic tasks. Mission, kill all the ghosts in Nada Spider Mountain. Note that this mission is a geographically restricted mission, and there is no restriction on others.